Ganesh. Received through Julie Miller. May 20, 2015.
Somewhere inside of you there is a calling that is primal and known by your soul that wants to come forward and become known and welcomed with unconditional love and unconditional compassion. This calling is quiet, yet known by your soul and understood by your heart. The end of creative labels for this and that, the end for herding people and things into categories, as there is no purpose when each of you beats a heart, shares in the rhythm of life that is deeply intrinsic and connected. When you move about your day, and take a moment to enjoy the sun, or welcome the bright glitter of stars that paints your night sky, don't think you are the only one in the world enjoying the sun or enjoying the stars. What it is inside of you, that is deep and profound, beautiful children, is the spark of divine light that is there, in all beings, and in all creatures. As you turn your attention inward more often, you will in time find yourself realizing how much inner peace you have been passing up in favor for the next distraction or temptation. It takes dedicated discipline to remain focused and to not refer to what someone else is doing in order for you to take positive action for your life. What another person is doing in their life, how they practice their spiritual calling is perfect for them, doesn't mean it is perfect for you. You must find that place inside of you, that natural, undistracted self, and allow the peace of this state of being direct you and your precious heart to what is meant for you to do. Too often you barely scratch the surface of knowing your true self. Very few actually take the time for deep meditations and long periods of quiet solitude simply because the busyness of the mental activity is pulling them in too many different directions. Unless you are focused on your goals, you will have a hard time making them become a reality. Frustration easily sets in when you become distracted and your focus becomes tainted. You can blame others for distracting you, but it is you that allowed yourself to become distracted. Many people are still uncomfortable with taking responsibility for their thoughts, actions and choices, but it is through your ability to being more accountable for where this path is taking you that you see the grace and beauty of what you have overcome so far in this life. The moment you can see all that is before you without attaching emotionally and without adding expectations on how things should be, is the moment clarity enters your way of being and you begin to process life around you differently, at a much purer level of understanding. As you make your way throughout your day, take the time to consider your state of mind. Determine if you can, if you are coming from a place of unconditional love and unconditional compassion, or are you stuck in some egoic notion of make-believe. A way of knowing if your thoughts and actions are of the highest of good is if you think of how they would be if they were offerings as gifts to God. We know you understand that the Lord is called by many names, including Shiva, Krishna, even Allah, and there are many other names that refer to a supreme being. Now, think about those thoughts and actions that you have played out recently. Were they of greed, lust, jealousy, hate, peace, unconditional love, genuine kindness, etc.? If you were offering to God any of these, which ones would you prefer to make as an offering? Would you want to give the one you pray to an offering of greed over an offering of genuine kindness? When you give unconditionally to others, regardless of what you are giving, you are also giving to Him. When you give with conditions, He is also receiving them, but it is the gifts that are from the purity of the goodness of your heart and soul working harmoniously together that He treasures the most. God does live inside every humble offering you make, and it is in your offerings, dear hearts, that holds the opportunity to turn all your selfless actions into grand spiritual awakenings. The next time you open a door open for someone, think of it as opening the door for God, or the next time someone steps in front of you, let them pass as if it were God stepping in front of you. When you see the divine in all things, you tend less to become angered and become more gentle and empathetic. You are not required to be deeply spiritual or exercise religiously a spiritual way or practice in order to appreciate the present moment and to say yes to it with your whole, authentic self. To resist your inner self is utterly futile, for this inner part of you, the authenticness of who you really are, wants you to surrender to all that life has to offer you, the good along with the bad. And the need, dear hearts, to work against what is trying to break through that is of the highest of good for the moment you are presently working through. You do not require some grand guideline that outlines how you ought to live. All you need is to explore and discover your true self, the self that is unencumbered by excessive worry, the self that trusts and believes in that their heart and soul is directing them to where they are meant to be. One of the truest ways you can demonstrate the purity of your heart and soul in action is accepting and by embracing that you might not be 100% perfect, but you are complete and whole just as you are, and that you are willing to become more every waking day, as each new day is a fresh start to the remarkable journey you have agreed to fulfill before you entered this life. The divine that is inside of you, it is bright and it dances like a sunbeam, full of bright joyous light that flows like a gentle tide that knows what needs to be let go and what needs to be brought in. Embrace your complete, divine self, for I already have. I am Ganesh through Julie Miller.